I just want to say that I just think you're speaking complete rubbish, to be honest. Tuchel's been interviewed after a match. He said they're not played to their best ability. The reporters then said, what mentality as well? And he said, no, absolutely not. The mentality was there. We can stick that in a bottle and we can sell it.
One sentence is all it takes for this debate to change direction. What begins as a discussion about England's performance quickly becomes a disagreement over something much bigger. Is public criticism easier to justify when emotions are still running high? Or should professionalism come first, regardless of the circumstances? That difference in thinking is about to shape everything that follows.
He got actually angry with the reporter for suggesting the mentality wasn't there. We can all agree that they didn't play the best game. And then the same reporters then basically told Jude Bellingham that his boss has told him that they didn't play very well. And he's been on a pitch for 120 minutes in humid 32-degree heat or whatever it's been. Of course you're going to be frustrated. I would be frustrated at work, and I'd probably say something to my boss if that's what it was. But I bet you £1,000 that if Jude Bellingham watches Tuchel's interview this morning and gets it into context, he wouldn't have said what he said.
Well, then he should keep his mouth shut, James. So, James, hold on a second, right? So you're telling me I'm talking rubbish. Let me just dissect this.
James isn't defending the words themselves. He's defending the circumstances around them. For him, exhaustion explains the reaction more than intent.
So you're saying that because he played for 120 minutes and it was exhausting, it was absolutely punishing conditions and heat, and you're up against a very tough side and they won in extra time, right? And I understand all this. You're saying that excuses his comments.
So would you not be mentally exhausted?
No. I'm asking you, James, I'm not saying that I wouldn't be. I wouldn't make it to 12 minutes, let alone 120, right? So I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing that it's tough. I'm arguing for professionalism. So you're coming on here, James, and you're telling me I'm talking rubbish on the basis that because he's knackered after spending 120 minutes on the pitch and giving 2 goals to England, that gives him the right to undermine his boss in front of the entire international media. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying I completely understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, but why are you saying I'm talking rubbish?
Now the disagreement becomes much clearer. One side argues from empathy, the other argues from standards. Those aren't the same conversation.
Because you're getting angry saying he shouldn't be talking about his boss like that.
Yes, he shouldn't be. So does that mean...
And then you talked about role models.
Yes.
You talked about role models. Jude Bellingham's one of the greatest role models we have in England. Maybe Harry Kane first and Jude Bellingham. He always stops and talks to, journalists. And there was a video recently where he stopped and spoke to a Spanish journalist, disabled one. He spends a lot of time with children in hospitals and stuff like that. He's an absolute role model to kids.
I'm not saying that he may not be in the round doing many other good things. All I'm saying is that even if you're completely exhausted, there's something called professionalism in front of the international media. And I accept the fact that if you're having a microphone stuck in front of your face after you've just given everything on the pitch and then you're hearing that your boss is not happy with you, you'd be a bit irked. I understand it from a human level, James.
James shifts the focus to Jude's character. But the host separates reputation from this specific moment, arguing that one doesn't automatically excuse the other.
All I'm saying is either don't give interviews if you can't actually conduct yourself properly, or if you do, then save it for behind the dressing room to go and have it out with your boss. Don't have it out with your boss in this dismissive manner saying no comment or whatever. This sends the completely wrong message. It's a bit like saying what we're going to have like kids in school now with their teacher when they tell them to go and do their homework. Oh, whatever, miss. It's tough out there, What nonsense. What nonsense, James. And you're saying this guy's a role model.
It's not the same at all.
It is the same. It is exactly the same. Because this person is lauded and looked up to and deified as a demigod.
This is the first point where both actually agree on the facts. They simply disagree on where personal emotion should stop and public responsibility begins.
Right, well, I'll tell you when it would be the same. So it would be the same if the teacher asked the pupil to go and do massive amounts of homework, and then the pupil gives the homework in, and then the teacher goes, "It's not good enough, do it again," and the pupil puts as much effort in as possible can.
So James, what you want is Thomas Tuchel to blow smoke up Jude Bellingham's posterior. That's what you want, isn't it? That's what you want. James, hold on the line. Barry in Edgware. Barry.
Hello, Ali. You're absolutely right. Thomas Tuchel is probably one of the best football managers in the world. Bellingham will never be that. He's only one game away from an injury, being a has-been. I wouldn't play him the next game if I was Tuchel, but that won't happen.
Okay, but Barry, 1 second, right?
James answers with another analogy. The host responds by challenging the conclusion instead of the comparison itself.
Whether you think Tuchel's the best manager in the world or not, frankly, for me, is irrelevant, right? Whether he's good, bad, or... He has been appointed, right, to be the England manager. He is the boss, right? Now, whether Bellingham thinks he's a completely inept tool or whatever is not besides the point. If he thinks it is, go and have it out in the dressing room. James, come back to Barry. Go on.
Yeah, I just think if Tuchel's the best manager in the world, if I was managing the England team, I'd have him in the classroom this morning. I would show him the full interview that Tuchel did, and then I would say, this is what I actually said, and then they would say apologies to each other, and they'd get on with it, and that would be professionalism.
But James, look, fair enough, and I agree with you on the 120 minutes thing. I definitely agree and empathise with you. All I'm saying is that Jude Bellingham has to appreciate, he's 23 years old, he has to appreciate millions of people around the world are watching that match. He's not only representing his country, he's representing himself to every young person and every person in this country who will look up to him and deify him. He needs to do better. James, thank you. Barry, final word to you.
And a new voice enters the debate. Interestingly, James now arrives at almost the same destination as the host. The difference is no longer about professionalism, but about how the situation should be resolved. By the end, neither side fully changes position. But the conversation becomes more balanced, with both acknowledging parts of the other's argument. What makes this exchange interesting isn't who won the debate. It's how quickly the discussion shifted away from football and into a question about accountability. James never really argued that Jude Bellingham's response was perfect. His point was that context matters. After 120 minutes in exhausting conditions, frustration is predictable. From that perspective, the comment becomes understandable. The host approached the issue from a different angle. His concern wasn't the emotion, it was the setting. Speaking publicly carries different consequences than speaking privately, especially when you're one of the most recognizable athletes in the country. What's easy to miss is that both arguments contain some truth. Fatigue absolutely affects judgment. At the same time, public figures are often judged by how they respond under pressure rather than when everything is comfortable. The real divide wasn't about football at all. It was about where responsibility begins. Does pressure reduce accountability, or does visibility increase it? Perhaps the most revealing moment came near the end, when both sides quietly accepted part of the other's argument. James acknowledged that professionalism would involve clearing the air. The host admitted that anyone would be emotionally drained after such a demanding match. That doesn't erase their disagreement, but it changes its shape. Instead of arguing over facts, they were arguing over which principle should take priority, and that's why debates like this continue long after the final whistle. They're rarely about a single comment. They're about the standards we expect from people when pressure is at its highest. What do you think? Did James make a fair point by focusing on the circumstances, or was the host right to prioritize professionalism over emotion? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more analytical debates and media discussions.